Welcome to TerryWilson3.com, the show committed to helping you grow, protect, and enjoy your money, business, and life.
Wanted to get with you. This is really something that seems to be scratching a lot of itches, and it looks like it's pretty lucrative.
Well, it's one of the best business decisions that I've made, becoming a rep.
My intent now is being in that call center is letting people know this is the real deal. You will make money, and you don't have to have a product to promote. Just get in that call center and take calls, read a script. You will make money.
I started my own personal business 10 days ago. On Friday, I have my first 2 sales come through, and I have more pending. You do the activity, you take the time, you talk to the people.
You will make money.
I am in love with it. I don't know any other way to put it.
I really appreciate all the value you give. It's a lot, right? I look up to you a lot. You're kind of a leader in an industry where there's lots of BS.
And by the way, I love your swag.
This is the Terry Wilson. Really? I'm excited, Terry. I want to get started here.
When that person called in, Reagan was sitting in that chair right there and almost fell out of it.
I think I did.
He said, "Are you kidding me, the Terry Wilson?" Hey guys, this is the Terry Wilson.
That's right.
Hey,
the Terry. Don't.
Hey, Terry Wilson.
No, this is the Terry Wilson. TerryWilson3.com. This is episode 332. If you are just checking in and logging in, welcome aboard. We're glad to have everyone on with us tonight. We've got Miss Lindsay.
Hello. What's up, y'all?
And we got Reagan, which you can't see because he won't let us put a camera on.
Reagan. I don't like being on camera. I'm not gonna lie.
And he said, "Why?"
I just.
You're handsome though.
I just don't like seeing myself. I avoid mirrors.
You're the best looking guy in the room.
Think of your sweet girl in there and just smile.
We can put her on camera, and I can talk over her on camera.
Well, then you might have some competition because she's beautiful.
That's true. That's true.
Oh well. Reagan, he feels like me, a face for radio, I guess. But I guess when you name the website after yourself, you sort of have to put your face out there, I guess. But anyway, tonight we're talking about more. That elusive term that sometimes frustrates, inspires, motivates, discourages. The term more can do all kinds of things, I think, to people. It can be a great motivator. It can be confusing at times. I've had clients that honestly has spiritualized mediocrity in the fact that, well, Brother Terry, Paul says to be content in all things.
I'm very content with the money that I make most of the time.
Paul says, but that's true. But he didn't say there's a difference between being content and complacent, my friends.
That's right.
Paul never said to be complacent. He never said to settle for where you're at. He never said to stop growing, to stop reaching, to stop stretching, to not stop expecting, to stop wanting more for yourself. I think the walk of faith commands us.
You can be content and successful.
You can be content. Contentment should be your default position, but contentment and complacency is two different things. And there is a thing where he says, blessed are those who hunger and thirst. The blessing comes from the hunger. And the old commercial, "Stay thirsty, my friend." They're selling. What's the name?
Can you do that again?
"Stay thirsty, my friends." Dos Equis. He's saying, if you want this product, you got to be thirsty.
That product stresses me out because I speak Spanish, and so.
Well, sí se puede.
Sí, pero Dos Equis.
Dos Equis.
No está bien.
No está.
Se debe ser.
I'm gonna swing better.
Whoa.
That's his way of saying stop. We've gone
should
too
be
far.
Dos Equis. It's not Dos Equis. Like, that's southernized.
Well, I can barely speak English, so don't expect me to start getting into Spanish here.
Okay, well, si necesita ayudar, dime y yo puedo le ayudar.
Stop! I don't know.
I'm bad at my first language. I'm not about to attempt a second.
I have not mastered English yet.
Well, I'm not allowed to speak Spanish.
You're not? Why?
Whenever we go to a foreign country, it's happened over and over.
Yeah.
We will sit down somewhere like at a table and we'll have, a server come and like take care of us. And I get so excited to use my language. And so I order in Spanish and the rest of the meal they ignore Justin, and it does not go well for him or for the server.
Justin's like, can I be included in this conversation, please?
Yeah, he gets a little bit not happy about it. It's kind of disrespectful, honestly, because they completely disregard him and direct, like, what does your husband want to eat? They ask me stuff like that.
That's kind of funny.
It's a little bit funny. Can imagine Justin.
What does he want?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of rude. So I have to keep it in a little box, you know.
You talking about being around people that speak, Gina's parents from birth.
I was going to mention this story if you weren't.
Go ahead.
Well, no, you were telling it fine. I just wanted to make sure you're getting there. Go for it.
No, go ahead.
Where's Chris? Because I'm sure
we don't allow Chris on this podcast much.
Probably a good decision.
Because my mom her parents were both deaf, and so she's fluent in sign language, and Gabby's also fluent in sign language, and it just so happens that Alicia's mom and dad were interpreters for ASL, so they also speak fluent. So she speaks fluent sign. So there will be times when we'll go out to eat, and they'll just break out in sign language, and everybody else is just left there to sort of
fend for yourself.
How's your chicken? It's pretty good. I don't know.
I mean, they're over.
Can you speak?
He only gets upset when he knows they're talking about him, and he's like, no. You have to do it in my face. You have to say it in a way I can understand it. Yeah.
I want to defend myself. Signs like, "Where's the bathroom?"
Yeah.
I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. Yeah. Those times I can eat, and then but I don't know. I can't speak it fluent. Now I can spell it out.
That's me. But I had a deaf cousin, so like you learn the basics.
Yeah. But they're just over there. And I was like, did you just lay down the bunt sign? Well, I mean, what is?
Whoa!
We got the squeeze play on. What's going on here? Well, guys, this is episode 332. We are talking about more. Wanting more, earning more, enjoying more, experiencing more, and how to get more. That's the whole premise of tonight's show. If you've got questions, Reagan's over in the chat room right now. He can answer your questions. He'll bring it up. If you make us laugh, we might even send you out a free t-shirt. So let me just go ahead.
Wait, I don't have a t-shirt.
You don't have a t-shirt?
I need a t-shirt.
Well, we'll get you a t-shirt. Okay. We're going to get you a t-shirt. We'll get that.
And you have made us laugh. So.
You have made us laugh.
Hello.
If anybody in here is deserving of a t-shirt is Miss Relax and Chill Out, Lindsay Marley over there. Yeah, man. But we're about to go on vacation. This is our last podcast till October. We're going to take the rest of this month and September off, going to the Caribbean, going on cruises, going to go rodent hunting down in Central Orlando or Central Florida. I don't, but my wife is. We can't say the name because there's people in earshot of the office here that it's they don't know that's happening. So we've got a lot of surprises in store for some of them. So we try to say it in a very vague, nuanced way.
Oh, okay. I know the plan. And a gun. I didn't see that. Like
kill the rabbit. Yeah. So we're doing that, and so we're gonna have fun, but that means tonight's the last night. So if you got questions, we want to answer them. If you would like to be able to take a month off and go and live your life and enjoy it, we're going to show you how I do it, how Lindsay does it, how other people, Gary Greenbacks and Tracy and all of these guys has been with TW3 for so long, how they're able to do it. It's not because they're lucky. It's not because they're anything more than they just got tools to do this with. If you got a tool and you're trained on how to use these tools, you can be as successful as you want. You can have more than what you have now. But a lot of times people don't experience more, and I want to get into why. But before I do that, real quick, I want a little pause for the calls, give a plug. If you want to plan for more, you want to do more, one of the best things you can do is start writing out your thoughts, your dreams, your ideas, and your plans to get there. And we offer a journal to start doing that over at TW3. You can go to terrywilson3.com/journal, terrywilson3.com/journal. And
we need a demo for the October show.
We do.
I would love to touch it and talk about how soft it is. And
yeah.
No. I'm not going there. I'm just saying, I like leather. So.
Justin, you might want to text your wife. I ain't got nothing for that. And so that go over there for $25. You can get that at terrywilson3.com/journal. I'm not going there. Just not going to go there. It's not worth it. I want to.
You cannot.
But I'm not
Tell
going.
Michael he better turn off.
Say,
his
Michael, get off. Don't you be sending in chats to Reagan.
text.
No text, no anything. We're not getting distracted here. We're staying focused on at hand. Now, I want to play. I'm going to set this up. I've got a video I want to play for you guys. And here's the question. This coaching style. Look, I don't know if this guy's, I don't know if what we're about to watch is real or if it's a joke. Okay, so I just want to lay that out there.
Okay.
But for conversational purposes, guys, we're going to act like this is real. We're going to act like this guy, this is actually how he's coaching his little league team.
Oh no.
And I want you guys in the audience, I want to ask you, is this a positive way to coach to get more out of people? Or is it a deterrent? Is it a thing that's going to cause people, and especially 12-year-old boys, not to rise to the occasion, but to actually be diminished and maybe even hurt them throughout the rest of their lives? I'm going to play this video and you make the call. Let me know, and I'll turn it up here in the studio so you guys can hear it. And let me know what you think about this guy's coaching style.
If you don't start throwing strikes, there's going to be an Amber Alert out for you before the end of this game. Did your dad ever play catch with you when you were younger? Do you have una más more better in you? I know you're new to our team, but do you always suck this bad, or is it just a special occasion today? Well, that sucked with a capital S and a lot of U's. Seriously, dude, I'm about to just call the police and have you arrested. If your dad ever gets out of rehab, we're going to have to work on a new pitch called the strike. Dude, I don't know what makes you suck so bad at pitching, but whatever it is, it works. You better figure out when soccer tryouts are. Have you ever thought that you might actually be left-handed? You need some style. You need some pizzazz. I feel like I'm watching a pitching machine out here. No pressure. But if you don't strike this kid out, I'm going to fill your pockets full of meatballs and throw you in a piranha pond. I know you're only 12, but the high school coach just texted me and you're cut. Dude, you didn't just fall out of the crummy pitcher tree. You were dragged entirely through the I suck at pitching forest.
I want to put this lightly, but I mean, we're getting killed out there, and I think it's pretty much all your fault.
Well, you win some and you lose some. Unless you're on the mound, we lose them all. Yeah, your dad said that you sucked at pitching, but you are way worse. Well, at least your mom still loves you.
Y'all.
I know.
Now, that being said, I'm pretty sure that's probably fake.
Yeah, that's got to be.
It has to be.
It's too funny.
But that reminds me a lot of my soccer coach, which is why I appreciate that, because I got better at soccer playing with him. So, you know, sometimes.
Okay. Heck no. Nobody is talking to my baby like that. No, no, and no. My sweet, amazing, artistic son. I don't know.
Are you saying artistic or autistic?
Artistic.
Just for point of clarity.
Yeah, artistic. He loves music.
Yeah.
He's very inclined towards architecture and building. We have not done an organized sport with him yet. And just kind of by judging some of his skills in the backyard kind of playing.
Right.
I don't know how that's going to go.
Right.
And if anyone ever said any of that stuff to him, I would have to go to prison and start ministry from prison because it would not go well. So,
well, see, I laugh. I'm gonna be honest, and you guys saw me. I laughed the whole time that was going on.
But I mean, if someone was saying that to Reagan, a college kid, that'd be
that one got me.
That's okay to say to like college and pros, but not to a baby, a 12-year-old.
Well, I'm going to tell you that right there was how I was coached growing up on Little League and basketball.
How many years of therapy?
None, and he's doing great. No.
I can't sleep at night.
I'll say this now. Once again, that was probably a joke.
It was. But that's over the top.
But that being said, there is something. Certain coaches just have that relationship with their players where they can sort of have that back and forth. It's similar to just how I talk to my buddies. Like if they shoot a bad shot in the air ball, I'd be like, wow, how'd that not go in? Like, you just rip on them because it's funny. some coaches have that relationship with their players. Like I know our soccer coach was like that. He was always trying to get us to do better, and he could like be like really helpful and really kind to us at times. But then there are other times like, are you sure you're not a left foot kicker because that was trash? What are you doing? Like that type of.
I'm going to disagree because I mean.
So you don't think that kind of coaching is ever called for?
I don't think there's any place for it. No, I was on a very, very competitive state champion dance team. The team I was on was 4-time state champions. I was on the team the 4th year that they won the 4-year in a row state championship. Mm-hmm. So lots of pressure. And some of the things that we endured as a team to be state champions, like I still could have nightmares over.
Right.
Like,
well, see, I have been coached that way my whole life. And my band director, who probably, if I had to put on one hand the most influential people in my life, Brian Williams, my band director, my junior high and high school band director, probably shaped my future more than anybody. And even though he was a teacher / band director, he was coaching me in the art of music.
Yeah.
And I think it was when I was like 7th, 8th grade. I don't know what it was. But he pulled me aside in front of everybody after we was doing. He says, Terry, sometimes I come in here and it just sounds like milk chocolate is flowing out of the end of your trombone. He says, and then today it sounds like...
Oh, no.
You can't even finish it.
It sounds like a dinosaur farting in a bucket.
Oh, no.
Now, it embarrassed me to no end. But you know what? It motivated me because I didn't want to have that comment. And because the whole class was just laughing hysterical.
I don't think embarrassing kids is productive, though.
My point is, I think different people are motivated differently. And sometimes it's called...
But you still remember that. There's a scar on your heart.
But he's a much better trombone player now.
Yeah, but I went to all state, sat first chair, and eventually went on into the music business professionally, had my own music store, because it motivated me. And here's the thing. I would say he had a relationship with me where he could do that. Because I knew that comment, while it was harsh,
yeah,
and it was direct, and it was embarrassing, it came from someone that I trusted that had my best interest at heart. I never felt like he was trying to hurt me.
Yeah.
What happened to praise publicly and correct privately, though?
Ask your husband how the Marines handle that.
I can't even. I cannot.
Have you ever seen Full Metal Jacket?
No, I can't watch any of those movies about his former life because I can't.
Watch the first 20, 30 minutes of Full Metal Jacket.
I think it also...
Some of this is softball.
I think it also comes down to how they're doing it. Because what was the coach that threw a chair onto the basketball?
Bobby Knight.
Maybe not that. Maybe not that.
See, that's excessive.
Maybe that's a bit much.
That might be over top.
But I could totally see my previous drum instructor being like, "Are you sure your foot's not broken? Because you didn't hit a single one of those bass drum notes. You're not a one." It's honestly impressive, actually. Like that's the type of... I could just see that.
I think, to me, I think the answer is relationship.
Yeah.
The relationship with the coach and the person being coached, whether it be a teacher student, whether it be parent child, whether it be, I really do think in a good coach, a good coach knows how to motivate that student by whatever tool necessary. Some people need encouragement. Yeah. They need, everybody needs encouragement, but some people are not motivated by that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then it's the opposite end. Some people are very motivated by
some
tough
people,
love.
The only way to get them motivated is to put that proverbial boot in the metaphorical areas.
Well, I can't even hardly deal with the stories Justin's told me about boot camp and his training.
But do you think he's scarred?
He doesn't act like not from the Marine Corps.
That's what I'm saying. I think different people react differently. Yeah. And that's one.
Oh, he talks about that as the best time of his life.
I will tell you my favorite, most influential person was my band director. And he said all kinds of things like that.
Yeah.
You know, he created a culture that my wife now, who used to be my girlfriend back in high school, hated. Because if you were getting out of step or your section got out of, then he would take the entire section and you had to run a lap or whatever. And then the section leader had to run 10 times whatever it was. So I was the section leader of the whole low brass section. So we had this guy that just could not ever get it right. Could not figure out that when you're on the 1 and the 3, you're on your left foot. When you're on the 2 and the 4, you're on your right foot.
Oh, marching band.
We were out there in
Okay.
marching band practice. So I got behind him, and every time it's 2 and 4, I was kicking him in the rear. I said, I'm kicking you on the 2 and the 4. Now, my wife hated it. Where would he be at today? What do you think's happened to him? I was like, I don't know, but I shaped him up for those. But that was the environment but some people thrived in that.
Yeah.
And some people didn't. And so the whole point is it's different strokes for different
I also think, and I'm not trying to make a sexist comment here because this isn't like a broad paintbrush everyone,
Well, no.
but male and females do react differently to stuff. 'Cause
We
I could
communicate differently.
Well, you do. I think
you perceive things.
And once
differently.
again, this isn't everyone, but it does seem like females will typically be the ones that will smile to your face, kind of say something behind your back, and you're like, "Oh, what's this knife doing here?" Meanwhile, a guy will slap you in the face, and you be like,
That's true.
"I appreciate that, thank you," and then you shake hands, and
generally speaking, that is true.
Yeah, so I think guys.
What I say behind you is what I'm saying in front of you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I think even coaches to 12-year-old little league can just you sure you're not left-handed? Like I just think it happens differently. I think we react differently.
No, I think that's very true because women are taught that we should sugarcoat everything.
Sure, yeah.
And it doesn't take you very far in life if you live that way.
Right.
Well, there's even studies that and it has nothing to do with gender. It has more to do with just personality type. But one of the things that Jordan Peterson was talking about in the 12 rules of whatever that book's called. What's the name of that book over there? 12 rules.
12 rules for life.
12 rules for life.
To chaos.
Yeah,
Chaos.
12
I thought it
rules
said
of-
Chad's at first. I was like,
But he was just talking about the more aggressive, the more sort of in your face
Mhm.
personality types that is the ones that typically climb the corporate ladder. That doesn't make it right, wrong, or indifferent. It's
Sure.
just statistically that's just the way it is.
you see that in business a lot.
And that sort of corresponds sometimes with the gender gaps and stuff. It has, his argument is, and you can agree with it, disagree with it, is that's what makes up a lot of times the gender gap pays and advancements and stuff like that you do see has more to do with the personality type. Now that doesn't mean that all men are aggressive and women are passive. Everybody's individually, just on balance when you do the whole
That's
thing.
true of my husband. I mean, he is very aggressive and abrasive. I mean,
but I've been around women that are just, how many of you met couples that, she wears the pants, if you will, and he's more passive and she's if you've been around enough people, you see that, you know? So it's not, I don't want to paint with such a broad brush that everybody's the same because I don't believe that.
No, but in work, a lot of times an aggressive and abrasive and a direct approach can take you very far in a career.
Absolutely. Especially in business.
Yeah.
Because business is about the X's and O's. It's about the money. It's about the deal. It's not about how you feel.
And Justin's not afraid to be crazy direct. He'll come home and tell me things. I'm like, you said that?
Well, and sometimes when you're talking to people, especially about going after more, getting out, doing more, accomplishing more, one of the objections, I will say if I can get my words out, and different people, men and women, is, well, what will people think if I do this?
That was so hard for me in the beginning because I work with a bunch of women. And I would have all these people pushing back on some boundaries and guidelines I had set in place for my business.
Right.
And I'm a people pleaser, so I want everybody to get along and be happy. But it got to where I was overrun. And so I had to start enforcing those things that I had set up to protect myself and my family.
And then
I had to be really direct.
Yeah.
And that's really, really hard for a people pleaser.
It's very difficult. But sometimes when you're talking about talking to people that have dreams, have goals, have ambitions, they're tired of that 9-to-5 grind, they want to go out and do more, then you show them ways and platforms and strategies that they can go out and do that. And some of the things that they have to fight against in that startup mode, I call it the startup mode, the launch mode, is being judged by other people. Well, who do they think they are?
It's hard.
Are they too good to work this job with, their coworkers
and especially
or family?
if it's new?
Right.
Your confidence maybe not is what it will be in a year or whatever. And so being super direct and setting those boundaries is
it's
a challenge.
It's a challenge for people that
it's good though. You should do it.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Reagan, we got any questions real quick before we move on?
We don't have questions, but we do have shout outs.
Let's hit the shout outs.
Well, I have an excerpt here from Gary. I think it's cool. He said, my son is 11 and my son's coach is actually worse than that. But that being said, his son plays for the Phillies. So, I mean, you gotta.
His son plays for the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah. So, maybe it works.
Wait, he's 11 though.
Gary's son is 11, but the coach's son that's teaching his son plays for the
high level. Typically, you get into the higher level stuff. It's serious.
It's no joke.
It's no joke. They're intense about it.
Yeah.
So,
well, some of our shout outs here. These are from. Let's see. I want to make sure I get the names right. These are from Gary. Is Terrell Talton.
Terrell, how do you spell that? Like my name?
How do you spell your name?
Terrell.
Or it could be Terrell, like Kimberly's.
It's
husband.
the same, only an I.
Oh, okay. So that's my middle name, actually.
Okay.
It's not Terry.
And then we have Dan Gifford.
Dan, good to have you on.
And
Terrell, good to have you on. Or Terrell, however you pronounce it.
And then Terry Deaver.
Hey, we got some. Terry, Terrell.
Well, this one's spelled with an A.
Okay.
So it could be Teray.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to get into how you can do more, experience more, and have more right after this. One of the hardest things I feel like for an adult to do as you get older and you 30s and 40s and your metabolism starts slowing down is just losing weight. I mean, I used to could knock off 10 pounds just like that. But here lately, man, when I shot past 40, my metabolism went boom like that. I have discovered, because through Dr. Paul, a way of eating it's called the keto diet. It's not just low carb. It's a lower carb. It's not a no carb diet. But for you guys like me that grew up meat eaters, you love meat, red meat and steaks and all of that. And it just fits my diet, what I like. And, getting off of the starches and the breads and the pastas and stuff. Yeah, it was a challenge at first, but now I don't even crave it anymore. I'm not a big coffee drinker, and drinking that Bullet coffee in the morning was a little bit, an adjustment. But I can tell you, I've been on this thing now going on, I guess, 6 months, 40 pounds so far. I don't even feel like I'm on a diet. I can go out to eat. I can eat at home. We're about to do some cruising, and, cruise ship, you can just look at a cruise ship and gain 10 pounds. But I believe it's a lifestyle change that if you adapt, I'm talking, the things I was having, the pre-diabetic issues, the heart issues, the psoriasis and skin, all the autoimmune things and the things. It is amazing how just changing the way you eat can fix so many issues. And if you can fix your issues without the medication, I'm telling you, you're better served. And I can't say enough for this way of living and eating. And that's why I promote that keto system over at TerryWilson3.com/keto. TerryWilson3.com/keto. If you want a free trial, check it out. It might be for you. It might not be for you. I'm not wanting anyone to jump on something that's not right for them. But for me, it was a way to continue to be able to eat and eat, because I'm not one of those that's going to count calories. I'm not one of those, I'm a big guy. I've got a big appetite for life, for food and everything else. I'm one of those type of guys. And this allowed me and afforded me a way to continue to enjoy life, eat, and still lose weight. So go over to TerryWilson3.com/keto. That's TerryWilson3.com/keto. Check it out. It might be just the thing that you're looking for, and you get a free trial just for checking it out. So, a couple questions before we get into this. Reagan's got some questions coming through. They was asking about support while I'm out of town, well, ticket support still goes on even if I'm not in town.
Right,
So
right.
if you got questions, you go into ticket support, you ask them. We are not going to have membership trainings through the month of September.
Right. Really, I mean, that's the only
That's
thing
the only thing you're missing.
stopping,
But
and
there's
podcasts, of course.
Let me explain something, especially you new guys. There is enough membership training in your back office. If you'll go into webinar to private training, you could watch a video a night until I get back and you wouldn't get it all covered.
True.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So trust me when I say there's plenty of training to go through. It's just that live one-on-one. Well, it's not one-on-one, but where you can ask me something and I can respond in real time. You'll have to do that through ticket support. And that's why we have trainers. I mean, that's the whole business principle behind our business. Is the reason why our trainers get the lion's share of the profits is so they can be there and help you and support you and stuff. So the training question is a great question, but ticket support goes on even if I'm not there.
Right.
And you had one other question. What was it?
Somebody was just asking the best way that people can join this podcast or instruct their their people.
This podcast is always at terrywilson3.com/live. terrywilson3.com/live, and it's on Monday nights at 9 p.m. except for the next few weeks while we're out of town. Right. Lindsay, we're talking about getting more, having more, experiencing more. And one of the ways to have more is to be disciplined.
Yes, I absolutely agree with that. And I think that discipline will take you a lot further than luck will.
Absolutely.
I've mentioned before that I am diehard about a schedule.
Right.
Every day you need to have a game plan.
Right.
Within that schedule, though, aside from your income producing activities or your job, your work, whatever that is for you, I think that you need to also work in things like exercise.
Right.
And time to feed your body proper nutrition so that you can use your brain and think appropriately.
Think clearly.
Yeah. And all those things take discipline.
Yes.
Like if I go in phases, I'll be in a rhythm where I'm eating well and exercising a lot, and then I'll get busy and whatever and fall off. I am so much more productive and I have more. My life is more abundant when I'm disciplined.
Right.
When I'm in that good rhythm.
Do the things you don't want to do first, so you can do the things you want to do.
Absolutely.
Later.
And as far as discipline, that comes not just with work, but the rest of your life. Like I've found that it's all or nothing.
Right.
Like it's not like, oh, I'm really, really, really disciplined with exercise this month. Oh, but I didn't work.
Right.
It's usually hand in hand. Like if I'm really, really disciplined in my personal life and my family life and I'm organized, then when I'm working, I'm putting all my energy into that work because I've fed all the other areas of me that need attention.
Right. And you're not feeling all this anxiety and anxious.
No,
because
relax.
What happens to me when I'm undisciplined with my schedule, when I'm undisciplined with writing what I want to accomplish,
yep.
when I just sort of get tossed to and fro from, well, who's calling me next, this email, and I let emails that are coming in and phone calls coming in and the happenings of life dictate what I'm doing. So I'm just always in this reactionary mode.
Right.
I'm never relaxed because in the back of my mind is, oh, I've got to call so-and-so because they wanted to join, and I've got to call so-and-so because they wanted this, or I've got to make this video because we're doing, and all of a sudden I'm just never in this relaxed mode because I all of this stuff I'm supposed to be doing, or I told Gina I would go and do this and I'd do this, or I told the kids I would take them to Mexican tonight.
Yeah.
Now I don't have. I'm never in this relaxed mode because I'm working for everybody else.
Well, you're putting out fires.
A constant.
When that's what you're doing, your schedule is running you. You're not running in a schedule. The way that I've learned that works for me and helps keep me a sane wife and mommy
right.
is I have a very specific time in the day that I work. And outside of that, I took the messages off my phone, the email off my phone. I took those things away. I don't get notified when people message me or email me or whatever.
You just have to be proactive that this is,
And so I do my family thing. And then when it's work time, okay, who emailed me? I'm going to email them back. And who sent me a message, And
I think, one of the things that our coaches that come on to TW3, one of the biggest challenges, well, the first challenge is always, most people have tried these work from home business opportunities and failed because they They never had enough people to talk to. They were ill prepared. They were ill trained. They were told to go out and call on their friends, family, and foes. And so we handle that right on the front end. Do this. Do it this way. You'll have more people to talk to than you'll ever need. Mm-hmm. And so that's the first problem we solve. And we teach them how to start generating leads and generating business. And then they generate all this business. And here's where the second step is to being successful, whether you're in TW3 or some other business, is it's sort of funny. I'll have these clients that their first complaint is, Terry, I'm just broke, busted, and disgusted. I just need a legit job. We get them. They start making tons of money. And then the next month or two is, Terry, I got all these clients that are wanting all this time from me, all this coaching time. And all of a sudden their sales start dipping because the demand on them to coach has gone up like this.
Yeah.
And if you don't get real proactive on the front end of managing your business, you'll shoot up like a rocket and then come down like a falling star.
Right.
And so you have to be disciplined. And the beautiful thing about what we offer at the business here is you have all these automated tools. You have all these ways you could work a 9-to-5 job, come home and have 25, 30 leads sitting there waiting on you, and you work them when you want, and then you make your money. And then as you have clients in, you use what we show you, you can schedule your coaching. You know, one of the criticisms that someone levied to me several months ago, and I said, well, I'll have to own it, is that with our elite members that get the one-on-one time with me, they have to book it in my calendar.
Yep.
It's only 15 minutes. And I said, well, here's the reason why. Because all of the things that you need to know as far as building landing pages, building opt-in forms, all this technical stuff is already handled in video form. Right. It's already handled in ticket support.
It's not an IT consult.
Yeah, I'm not your one-on-ones are not about how to, fill in the blank on a keyboard.
Right.
Your one-on-ones are, I'm in this business, I need to generate leads for this type of business, or I have this income goal. What are some activities I can do? And then I can tell you, okay, you need to build 2 sales funnels. You need to have your opt-in page on the front end. And then I go through step by, and that don't take but 15 minutes.
Right.
But it takes 15 hours if I have to teach them, this is what a landing page is.
That's right.
This is what an opt-in form is. This is the button you press on your keyboard. Do that. That's not what it's for.
Right.
And so I try to teach my coaches and our trainers do the same thing. Manage your time. Be disciplined, like you're saying, with what you do when you do it, and be on the forefront. Here, all the training on how to do this is in video form. And then when you call me, this is when I coach. Book the time, and then we can speak. But if you allow clients just to call you whenever, and then you're on demand,
I would, and you can correct me if you disagree, but I would say too, I would not get in the habit of doing technology walkthroughs with new people.
No, I agree. I mean, they really need to, because it's so formatted out and step by step. The human nature, I'm this way. This is not a criticism. This is the way we all are. We all want the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
The path of least resistance is, hey, Lindsay, can you do this for me?
Yeah.
Hey,
help me real quick do this.
Help me real quick do this.
30 minutes later.
It's never real quick.
Yeah.
And there's no podcast, there's no webinar, there's no blog, there's no email you will ever see from Terry Wilson that says, all you have to do is buy my platform, rub it 3 times, poof, everything happens and you're rich. I'm very upfront with the fact that if you really want a legit job, if you really want a legit way of making money from home, there is a strategy, there is a way, there are tools, there are training. It's not easy, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
I don't sell get rich quick. I don't even sell get rich easy.
No.
Because for some of you, like for you, you came on and you're not a very technical person, but you picked it up and did it just like that. And that would have been, to me, your hardest thing, because you came to me and said, Terry, I'm just not a technical person.
Yeah.
And
but the videos.
But but the difference is you took the time to go.
Well, yeah, you've got to sit down.
Videos.
You've got to sit down, and again, there's videos, and there's, like, for the landing page, I use the PDF, and that was the same thing as me calling someone and them pointing and clicking me through it.
Well, that's what I tell
Yeah.
people when they've called us in tickets. There's nothing. I mean, please do. The tickets are there. The support is there to clarify what's already been said.
Right.
Terry, you said this, or the PDF says this.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? That don't make sense. And then we
Right.
try to bring context to it because here again, I don't speak Spanish. I don't speak English. I don't speak, so I understand. I can speak in a way that people don't understand. And that's why we want to make sure you get that. But take the time to do it. Be disciplined. If you want more in health, you want more in money, you want more in time, you want more. Lindsay brought out a great point. You've got, is it a want or is it a wish? Is it a desire or is it just a dream? I heard a preacher once said that, my dreams show up in the way I talk, but my plans show up in the way I act.
Mm-hmm.
Are you planning on more? Or are you just dreaming about more?
Yeah. Are you intentional?
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to do this and you want to do it well, you need to start blocking an hour or more a day into your calendar to devote to it.
Because I'm telling you guys, it's worth it. And I know some of you guys say, well, he's just wanting us to, and I know when you start talking to people about being disciplined and working and going out and you don't put it in terms like, oh, it's just so easy. It's just so easy. Some people, what do you, well, listen, that's what, there is no get rid. I don't care what politician, pundit, or, pontificating head talker on TV tells you, there is no get out of jail free card. You can go and you can protest Wall Street. And you complain about the 1%. You can complain about the rich get richer.
Uh-oh.
There's strike one.
Strike one.
But the fact of the matter is, if you want yours, you're going to have to go out and get it.
You got to work.
You just are.
I saw something. I think the state of Michigan is now like requiring you to work if you receive assistance. Or did you see that?
Yeah, I think a lot of states are going to that.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with helping people when they're down. I've got family. I've been there. I'm all for. But I don't think anybody is wanting people to abuse something. And if you are abusing it, I don't think it helps people for people to be able to just stay in a. I think there's a high cost of low living.
Well, I think what they're doing, the work thing, is an investment. They're teaching skills.
Absolutely.
It's awesome.
I don't mind helping as long as the help comes with true help. And true help is, you feed a man a fish for a day, he eats, but you teach him how to fish, he eats for a lifetime.
Right.
There's just something about, and that's what those principles are what TW3 is built on. I'm not here telling you, you can rub a genie, you can do this and just magically, great things going to happen. I'm telling you, you take our training, you use our tools the way we show you, we stand behind it. We give a 90-day money made guarantee, but it takes, like Lindsay just said there, discipline. Reagan says that less is more. What are you talking about, Reagan?
Well, this is kind of fitting just for today because I started school again. But I find that it's easier, and it's going to sound really cliche because it is, and it's good advice, is you categorize what you need to get done and you do what you can. Because I know there are some days, I work a couple different jobs, and I'm in school now, and also enjoy exercising, so trying to fit all of that. And one day can be difficult. If I'm starting my day at 4:30 in the morning and it lasts until 9 o'clock at night and we have our podcast, like there's a lot to get done in that time.
Right.
So,
and Dad's sending texts. Hey,
and Dad's sending me texts, and I'm on the treadmill. But there are times where you just have to plan what you can get done instead of just saying I'm going to get it all done, because I know I've done that before and I just
don't work.
Well, I end up upset because it's just like I feel like I'm hustling, I'm doing what I can, but it's just not enough. And that's not healthy for anybody, because when you're setting expectations for others that you can't meet, and you're setting an expectation for yourself that you can't meet.
Right.
But what's good to do is categorize, okay, this is what needs to be done first, because I have to do that all the time. We have, certain people have ordered something or they need something done by this time. And then we have maybe a question that was just sent in like a few minutes ago. You got to prioritize, okay, I can work on this after I get to what needs to be done.
Right.
And so prioritizing, and then not trying to overdo it either, because at the same time, your sanity is important.
Absolutely.
Because you probably could be sitting in front of your computer answering questions 24 hours a day.
Oh, absolutely. I could always find something. Okay, I could get this done. I could be following up on what River's doing, making sure I'm double checking all his work. Like, there's always something to get done. But it's important to set realistic expectations for yourself, because
and boundaries.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I'm gonna sleep now.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
Sleep is a good thing.
It is. It's a wonderful thing. Relaxing.
One of the things that Reagan
Yeah.
does better than I will, and he's really good at this, I have a very intense way about me, and
Okay.
he'll tell you that. I'm polite. I'm on the outside. They call me at the church the velvet brick. I'm soft to the touch until you push me, and then you figure out what's really behind it. Because
Yeah.
and what he does a lot better than me is when someone is screaming about something.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like right then and there. You know,
Yeah.
and it's a great technique. He gives it a few hours.
Let some cool off.
Well, and it's not necessarily when I say they're yelling, it's not even necessarily a confrontational thing. I don't know how this. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how. He gives them a couple of hours, and then what happens? They figure it out because he knows
a lot of times.
Yeah, he knows if you just allow them to work through that,
Mm-hmm.
they'll see. Oh, it says press this button here, and that's the one step I keep missing.
And I think a part of that comes from, because I wouldn't say
Because you work in ticket support a lot.
I was about to say a lot of that
So
just
you're-
comes from the last 3 years. I've been seeing a lot of the same issues over and over again, and it's not. I wouldn't say an issue. It's just people run into the same like,
common mistake.
Right. And so let's say one, for example, because it happens to, I would say 5% to 10% of our members. Whenever Ring Central sends out a call center extension for them,
Right.
they might not see it'll be in their spam. Well, if they're sending in a ticket wanting me to, I need that resent and I know it's been sent at that time, I just need to let that sit for at least an hour because inevitably what's going to happen is they didn't see it in their inbox. They sent in a ticket and they go, well, wait a second. Let me check my spam. They'll check their spam and it's in there.
Oh,
and
right.
they've already resolved their issue. But in a sense, what I'm getting at here is if I took, let's say I'm building a funnel or let's say I'm helping River with something. If I took time away from that to go respond to that ticket,
right,
even if that's 5 minutes, you multiply that by 20 people,
right?
I've lost about an hour of my time,
you get
to 2
nothing
hours of
done,
my time,
right.
and I haven't gotten anything done because they could have figured that out. Like it's not. I don't mean that rudely, but it's just
No.
they will figure that
And
out.
now
Like,
you
that's-
understand why we've designed a business a little bit the way we do. I don't handle tickets.
Yeah, that's probably.
I do not have the personality type. And he will tell you, the more I get involved with support, the more I am not a good person to be around.
it doesn't help your mood sometimes.
It doesn't help my mood because I'm a Myers-Briggs. I've got that P thing. He's got a J on the back end of his personality type. I got a P. I like things open-ended. I like things, sort of. I don't like concrete. I don't like living in a box life. He likes putting things in boxes and okay, in 2 hours I'm going to get to this. And I don't see boxes. I see it all in one mesh and it's just driving me insane.
Which is why he's, and I'm not complaining, but he does. You'll see it. It's just evidence of his personality. He'll send me texts as soon as something goes on. It's like I see it. I see it. It will get done. I promise. It will happen.
I'll get to it.
I promise I will get that done.
I'll wear him out. I know I drive him crazy. And then I have to follow up. I have to catch myself. Okay, I appreciate that. I know. I just
It's on the 17th text after my phone's on sleep. It's like, oh, okay, good. He's relaxed now. He's calmed down a little bit.
Go to bed, Dad.
Go to bed, Dad. But you're right. Both of you are right. You're saying you got to be disciplined. Reagan, you got less is more. That reminds me what Reagan's talking about. That old story. You guys have probably heard it, but there was an older gentleman and a young gentleman that worked in this. What do you call these guys that cut down trees and all that? Arborist. Back in the day, they called them loggers. Back in the day where and this is back before chainsaws were even. This is back in the olden days, the 1800s. Wow. Before that, and this young buck who was real strong and brawny and all this other stuff, he wanted to show who was who and who's the king of the and so he challenged the old guy that was there to a tree chopping contest because he got tired of this guy getting all the accolades and all of the attention and all this. He wanted to be thought of as the older gentleman was scrawny, wasn't big and bulky. He says, I challenge whoever cuts the tree down first. They had this bet. And this is such a common story. A lot of the listeners have probably heard it, but they take off and they start cutting. They both had the same size tree. They start cutting. Well, the older gentleman every 30 minutes would stop and go away and be gone for 5-10 minutes. And the young buck, he's just laughing. Oh, the old man can't keep up. The old man can't keep up. I'm aware. And he's just a chopping. And the older gentleman would come back behind the shed and he'd keep chopping. And then 30 minutes passed and he'd go away 5-10 minutes and he'd come back. And the young guy says, I'm going to wear this guy. And then all of a sudden, the old man's tree falls and he wins the contest. And the young guy says, how in the world did he beat me?
Yeah.
I never took a break. I'm out here chopping the whole time. And the old guy just laughs. He says, I wasn't resting. I was going to sharpen my axe. And sometimes being intentional and just stopping for a moment.
Work smarter, not harder.
Work smarter, not harder. Go back and sharpen your axe. I get criticized a lot of times because I take these long vacations from certain people.
Yeah, I'm totally judging you.
I know. But I've had comments from people at church. I've had people email me. And what these folks don't understand is, I guarantee you when I come back in September, October the 1st, October will be my best month this year. I'll have new ideas. I'll have a better podcast. Because that time away will let the synapses rest.
Right.
And all of a sudden creativity, because what we do here is creative. We have to be, ideas, marketing concepts, and new ways of doing business and stuff. And on a large scale, on a small scale, you have to take those breaks during the day, rest. I mean, I had a great day today, very productive, and I did something I haven't done in a couple of weeks. I just went out and I said, I'm going to go hit a bucket of balls. And I just went to the golf course and just went and hit a bucket of balls. And I was like, I don't know why I don't do that more. Because instead of just work, constantly working. I was like, what am I doing? But I've got, I have to fight against my own.
You need that schedule, Terry. You need a schedule.
Well, it's just that I've got that. I'm very intense. I am. I'm a very intense person.
But why don't you be intense about one thing at a time? Be intense about hitting your golf balls at 4:00 every day.
He's taking the Larry the Cable Guy approach. Get her done.
Yeah,
that's his approach to get her. I'm just going to get it done.
I'm just going to get it done.
I have to do it right now.
I went to the school to get things done.
Yeah, just got to get it done. It needs to be done.
Yeah, I think, and I've talked to a lot of entrepreneurs. I think a lot of entrepreneurs fight against. For me, if you've ever been on top of the mountain and got knocked off in the drastic way I did, there's a little bit of fear.
I gotcha.
You're running. I don't ever get caught. I like where I'm at. I'm not, but that can be healthy and that can be very unhealthy.
Right.
And so you have to strike the balance. I don't ever want to get complacent.
Right.
But I got to learn to be a little content.
Yeah.
And so that's why I force myself to take these long vacations. I force myself today.
That's your version of balance.
That's my version of balance.
Yeah.
I'm offsetting. Yeah. I'm majorly intense here. So I'm going to be majorly off the clock.
I can get on board with that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The whole play hard.
It's a hardcore version of balance, but you're all in no matter
I'm
what
extreme.
you're doing.
I'm just to go to the extremes. Reagan, we got any questions?
No, it doesn't look like
Good deal.
Immediate question.
Well, guys, I'm telling you what, if you've ever wanted a legitimate work from home business, I'm telling you, TW3, I can't say enough about it. And I'll tell you why. It's not about me. It's not about my name, even though it's named after it, but it's not because of ego. It's because I want people to know I stand behind it. I'll tell you why I like TW3. Reagan can attest to this. Is because I've done insurance. I've done direct sales. I used to sell cookware back when I was in high school.
And chess sets.
Wasn't very successful with that one. I've done a lot, But the thing I like about it, Lindsay, is I see so many people not only start TW3 and find success, but this is their first entrepreneurial thing that they've ever done. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to our clients and I said, well, what did you do before this? And when we're doing our coaching and stuff, and it's like, oh man, I worked in a factory, or I worked at a warehouse, or I drove, they've never done that whole work for themselves, work from home type thing. And this is their first experience. I said, well, thank God you got to us before you went to somewhere that, no.
So here's the thing. If she is in a place where her job is so miserable,
I get it.
That
I didn't mention her name, her company.
Okay.
And I just wanted the people to see.
I would have strike-two'd you.
No. I just wanted people to see a professional looking headshot and all of this puffery. And that's a marketing
But
term.
that's really disappointing. Like, she needs to get your tools.
That's the point we're getting at today. If you want more out of life, more comes from change.
Right. And what she's doing is unfortunately not working. And so she's upset about that and discouraged and taking it out on you, which is not cool. But again, it's always good to try and think about where this person's coming from.
Right.
A place of discontent, a place of less.
Right.
So maybe
she's not getting more.
Yeah. I mean.
And you know, we all can get there. I can get there.
Mm-hmm.
For me to go further than where I'm at now means I've got to make some changes that are not comfortable.
Yeah.
I've got coaches that I pay right now a pretty good amount of money each month to attend a mastermind group, and they're challenging me on some things that are against my personality type. But you know what? If I want to see that next level, I've got to change.
Yeah.
There's some things in me I've got to act differently.
You gonna train for the 10K Justin and I would like to run?
Oh, I ain't changing like that now. Come on. Not that kind of change.
Guess I'll have to recruit Reagan for that, right?
Yeah, I'll be there.
What is wrong with you? No, but seriously, and you know, it goes back to health and everything else. I've had to change the way I eat.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to change. I get out and be more active, so I feel better.
Yeah,
today. Sunshine, a little vitamin D.
Yep.
But change is not easy.
It's not.
Change is not comfortable.
I'm reading a book on that right now about habits.
Yeah.
Like all the things that we do in a day. Some of them we never made a conscientious decision to do.
Oh, it's on autopilot.
Yeah.
Because it's your habit.
Yeah. So like what you reach for breakfast every morning is pretty consistent if you think about what you've eaten in the last month. Most people, it's pretty consistent. At some point, that just became your norm. But we really need to be more intentional with our decisions that we repeat every single day.
Because if you do something over and over and over again, it becomes a habit, and then all of a sudden, you're not even thinking about it.
That's right.
But guys, if you want more, you can have more. You really can. And I know that that's encouraging for some people. And when you tell people if you want more, you can have more, it's discouraging for others. And it's even offensive because when you tell people if you want more, you can have more, you're actually putting the responsibility of having more on them. And that is not a popular message anymore in today's world. Today's world, you know, the easiest thing to do is to get on here and sell everybody on their victimhood and sell everybody on you're a product of other people's things and you've been done wrong and it's not fair and this is what should happen. And the fact of the matter is that there's truth in that, because I know a lot of people in ministry. I've done a lot of counseling. I've just been exposed to a lot. I know bad things happen to good people.
Yeah, I do too.
Just bad things. I don't know of anybody in this room that hasn't been touched by disappointment, discouragement, life events that have just gut wrenching, loss. I mean, we lost a really, really good friend just a week or so ago. I mean, we talked to her on Monday. We went to DC, and on our way back, we find out she's on her deathbed. And she was part of she came to this house multiple times. She was part of our home group. And so it's gut wrenching.
Yeah.
There's people that have gotten fired for doing nothing wrong. There's people that have been abused as children. There's all kinds of things. But here's the thing, guys. If you allow that to be your excuse for not going further, then you are stuck and you will never go anywhere.
I truly believe that most, I'm not going to say all, I'm not going to say an inclusive statement, but most entrepreneurs don't fail, they quit.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I've said this, and hear me now or feel me later. I said this at the ELT conference. The lion's share of my business, my personal business, when I sell a TW3 package, 9 times out of 10, it's because the person that they were talking to beforehand and getting all those emails from and all that had quit. I get orphan sales. I make my living off of orphan sales.
Wow.
And if that person has been active with us within the first month, we try to say, hey, do you want to reactivate? You've got business. If we don't hear from them, we write the business.
Yeah.
It is amazing to me. I don't know why, but it seems like the week someone quits, the next week, all of the fruits of their labor And that's what we teach our ELT members. The reason you want to be an ELT member is because you have that agency, you have those plus and reps under you. And once you start building your agency and once you start growing it, a lion's share of your business is just going to be off of orphan sales, because human nature is, I'm discouraged, I'm disappointed, I quit.
Yeah.
And I've never met, you can talk to Gary, you can talk to Tracy, you can talk to Jeff, you can talk to Mark, you can talk to Lindsay, you can talk to me, you can talk to anybody that's been in this business that's found success. You're going to hear from people that says, every once in a while, there's a day that I know I'm not successful. There's a week that goes by, I'm not successful, but they don't quit. They push through. I think who was it? Joe that was on the call about a month ago. He says, I have found that when business gets slow, the slowest, that's when I start ramping up the most. And he said, where I used to do right opposite. That's what it takes to be successful.
Got to power through.
Reagan, we got any other questions before? I know you're over there typing a lot.
No, I was answering some tickets, but no, we're good.
Are you answering the tickets in the back office while we're on a podcast? You're answering tickets in the back office.
Multitasker.
He's a multitasker.
Some of these came in before the podcast, though. So.
I got you. Well, if there's no other questions, I hope everyone enjoyed tonight's podcast. I'm going to miss you guys. We're going to be gone a little bit, but Lindsay, you want to come up here and just handle this while I'm gone?
If I knew how to work all the electrical equipment,
all these buttons,
you could count me in.
I'd be scared what I'd come back to.
It could be super sketchy. I'd have Justin up here and we do our married blog thing. That's what
what? The theme song would change. You know that, don't you?
Oh, heck yeah, it would.
You know what it'd be?
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley. Hey, absolutely. Bob Marley.
Nothing wrong with some good old Bob.
She'd have them in a groove.
I would. We'd all be relaxed.
Oh, goodness. Well, Gary and Tracy and Mark and Lindsay and all the people that are on tonight and that came. Listen, if you want to get involved with TW3, just go to terrywilson3.com/apply. Make sure you put in your recruiter's name. If you want to have your own home-based business to start making money, that's your sales rep and trainer package. If you're an existing entrepreneur but want to add a secondary income, maybe you're an insurance agent, real estate agent, direct sales, retail, restaurant, maybe you want to do affiliate marketing, referral marketing, that's our Plus membership. And if you want to have your own agency so you can create overrides, you can have passive income, you can start getting money off of those orphan sales, as I like to call it. That's our elite package. That's for the guys that are high income, motivated, earning people that want to make a couple $100,000 or more a year. That's where you want to be. Will it happen tomorrow? Probably not. Can it happen? Absolutely. We stand behind it. 90-day money made guarantee. That's how confident we are in our strategies. But you gotta do the strategies. I don't promise my hammer makes you a house, but I promise you if you take my hammer, put it in your hand, follow schematics, and do exactly what I show you, you're going to have a house that will withstand any storm that comes through. Till next time, this is Terry, Lindsay, and Ray. You got anything else you want to say?
No.
This is it.
Have a good vacation.
You're not going to get to talk to the folks until October, so you better
eat more chicken.
That's from Ray.
The Lord's chicken.
The Lord's chicken, right? Except on Sundays.
Thank you for listening to our show today at terrywilson3.com. If you would like more information on how we can take your money, your business, and your life to the next level, then please visit us online at terrywilson3.com or call 800-673-1728.
This is the Terry Wilson. Really? I'm excited, Terry. I want to get started here.
Is this a celebrity, Terry Wilson? Oh, my word. How you doing, sir?
Dude, don't even go there. I've been listening to this for a while, and I'm finally like, okay, guys, what a privilege. I mean,